Hey guys, it's Fred. Thanks for joining me. It's going to be a real short video. Don't have my partner. Sheila's gone back to substitute teaching, so she's not here to edit and do all the things that. Because normally I would put all this stuff into a video, and she would have the proof at the background. Only thing I'm going to comment on today is a picture that I saw on Facebook earlier. On Facebook. Hatfield McCoy side, and it was that picture there. It's a famous picture of Devil Ance's old house in the background, and people all over the area. And the caption said something like, over 5,000 people attended Devil Ance Hatfield's funeral. Guys, if you can, I'd like to see that in newspaper form. You know, the Logan banner's right there. The Logan newspaper was right there that wrote a lot of articles back in those days. And surely they covered Devil Ance's funeral. Surely they have the real picture. Because this picture right here, you got to remember it in the book, My Appalachia by Howard B. Lee, Attorney General in West Virginia at one time. He writes about the Mountain Queen, about Nancy Hatfield, Cap's widow, where he interviewed her, and she talks about how they see if that helps any. I'm getting the glare off my glasses. And she talks about how they killed the fatted ox. You know, you've heard they killed the fatted calf in the Bible when Joseph returned home, prodigal son. Devil Ance and those guys would kill the fatted ox. We've talked about it. We've done videos on this, but if you're killing an ox and there's enough people there to eat an ox, you can imagine the amount of people that attended. That is not a funeral. What's the three guys up on the stage is preaching a funeral? Now you got to remember, when Devil Ance died, it was freezing cold. It was freezing cold. It was raining. If you'll look, you'll find the photos, and again, I'll post them later on when Sheila's available to edit everything. In fact, there's other videos we've pointed this out before. People had umbrellas that day because it was in the 30s. It was raining, sleet, rain. It was cold. Wasn't that many people at the funeral. It was too cold to get out, much less to go to a funeral. And you're definitely not going to be out in the middle of a yard standing on a platform. That is a political rally. That is in the late 1920s when Tennis was running for sheriff again, or Joe was running for sheriff, and Henry D. Hatfield was running for senator or maybe even governor. But Cap Hatfield's wife talks about them killing the fatted calf. That may even be, that's probably even after Devil Ance's funeral in 1921. So these pictures that you see and these captions that you see beside of them, well, like the old saying says, believe half of what you're told, or none of what you're told and half of what you see, because that's a real photo. It's just the wrong caption. That's not Devil Ance's funeral. That is actually a political rally. I can't emphasize that enough. Believe what you want. It's no big deal. That's Devil Ance's house in the background. Big old 2-story house. Nice home at that time. But it's either when he died or after he died. You know, Devil Ance didn't come into any big money until later on in life. In the first part of his life, what he got, he stole. What he got, he stole under the color of the Confederate War, under the color of Home Guard, under the color of Logan Wildcats, Logan County or Tug Valley Desperados. They were known for so many names. Guys, catch you on the next one. Just want to make a small video on that. When you see that picture, believe that that's Devil Ance's Hatfield's funeral if you want, or you can believe that it's a political rally. Now, if the newspaper, Logan Banner, which is right there, or any newspaper that says that shows that picture in the newspaper dated for 1921, January the 7th, 1921, and it shows that picture in a newspaper with a date on it. You know how they do on these, when people kidnap somebody, they'll take a picture of today's newspaper holding it, where you can know that it's a recent picture. That's what you need. If somebody can show you or us a photo of that picture, excuse me, in a newspaper dated January the 7th, 1921, then I'll have to eat crow and say, well, I was wrong. And I could be wrong. I don't mind being wrong. We just want to correct history. Don't call something a funeral when it's a political rally, or vice versa. Let's know the facts. And the best way to find the facts is to question them. Once we question them and are proven wrong, then that's great. We can move on. You won't never see us covering this story again, but we've covered this story before. We've covered that exact photo, that exact run on the exact Facebook Hatfield McCoy page. It doesn't alter, it doesn't change their mind, because some people want to get hits on their page, and that's fine, that's understandable. But I think they would do better and their page would do better to show the correct history. I think people would want that, because some people actually write on there and say great history. That's not history. That's a myth. That's spoken into history, or on that page written into history. Real simple to prove. Real simple to prove me wrong. And that's to show a newspaper of Devil Anse Hatfield's funeral with that many people in attendance. I don't think that's much to ask. And I think the most credible of you out there that do see both our channel and the Facebook page, you've got your own opinion. And again, some people look at things for entertainment. If you're looking at it for entertainment purposes, and there is history there. That's Devil Anse Hatfield's house. That many people is gathered in his yard. It's not for his funeral. It's for a political rally. Thanks, guys. Catch you next time. Please like, subscribe, and share. And see you next time. Oh, sorry about that. A little cramp in my back there.